Hello, this is Levistro, the Dragon in Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. And while normally I cover video games, I also like to cover tabletop RPGs, card games, things of that nature. And, well, it's been a while since I had to cover one, and I found news of one, and while it's a little old, I figured I'd cover it today. Our technical reports that Everything But Beholders D&D updates core rules sticks with CC license. Campaign spin-offs and even commercial can use basic pieces for free. Wizards of the Coast has released a system reference document, the heart of the 3 core rulebooks that constitutes Dungeons & Dragons 2024 gameplay under a Creative Commons license. This means the company cannot alter the deal further like it almost did nearly in early 2023, leading to considerable pushback and eventually a retreat. It was a long quest, but the Lawful Good Party has earned some long-term rewards, including a new similarly licensed reference book. I don't know, are they referencing WOTC as Lawful Good? I mean, didn't they send a Pinkertons after somebody one time? I hope that's not what they're talking about, but we'll continue. Dungeons & Dragons owner Wizards of the Coast put the core D&D rules into an open game license in early 2000s, inspired by Richard Stallman's GNU General Public License. The idea was that by making the core mechanics, classes, spells, races, and monsters available for anyone to build on, royalty-free, more versions of games would draw more people into the tabletop role-playing sphere, and perhaps back to the core D&D games and rulebooks. It also likely didn't do much harm to WotC's properties, as these basic aspects of the game and bits taken from existing fantasy works were going to be difficult to copyright. WotC considered that the open game license was open to revisions, however, and the company proposed changes to the OGL that would require that anyone making certain amounts of money had to report it over $50K a year or start paying royalties over $750K a year. A leaked version of that license put the higher level royalties at 25% and only covered printed materials and static PDFs, leaving virtual tabletop and software makers questioning where they might fit in. Because the OGL was perpetual, not irrevocable, there was a debate on the legality of WotC's proposed changes and revocation of the 1.0 version of the OGL after receiving survey feedback that WotC characterized as quote-unquote in some such high volume with quote-unquote direction so plain. It released D&D 1 system reference document under a Creative Commons 4.0 Attribution 4.0 International License. That means that not only were D&D's core mechanics free to use and reference so long as the proper credit was given, but the license could not be changed at a later date. Version 5.2 of the SRD, all 360 plus pages of it, has now been released under the Creative Commons license. The major change is that it includes more 2024 5th edition and example D&D 1 rules and content, while no one's calling D&D 1. We're calling it D&D 5e or D&D 2024 or D&D 5.5. Like, no one's calling it. Who's calling it D&D 1? I mean, seriously, I play D&D and literally no one's calling it D&D 1 that I know of. I mean, I could be wrong. Let's just put that in there. Rules and content, going back into 5th edition rules and content, while version 5.1 focuses on 2014 rules. Legally, you can now design and publish campaigns under the 2024 5th edition rule set Z. Case in point. More importantly, more aspects of the newest D&D rulebooks are available under a free license. Original play and exploration documentation, more character origins and backgrounds, including criminal, sage, soldier, and the Goliath and orc species. 16 feats, including archery, great weapons, fighting, and 7 boons. 5 bits of equipment, 20 spells, 15 magic items, 17 monsters, including the hippopotamus. There's some aspects of D&D still can't really touch without bumping up against copyrights. Certain monsters from the Monster Manual, like a Kraken, are in public domain, but their specific stats in the D&D rulebook are copyrighted. Iconic creatures and species like the Beholder, Displacer Beast, Illithid, Githyanki, Yuan-Ti, and other remain property of WotC and thereby Hasbro. As a creator, you still need to do some history, origin arcana checks before you can publish and sell. Yes, so apparently D&D 2024 is now under a license for you to use and make your own games. Me personally, I know there are some people out there. D&D started, or WOTC started getting greedy. I mean, it's WOTC for crying out loud, and woke, uh, removing the core spirit of what D&D was, especially how I feel. Growing up, now, I haven't been able to play tabletop until 5e per se, because I lived out in the country. I was a country dragon, and then I joined the military, so I got to play maybe one shot of 3.5e. I didn't get to play until 5e, and that was when the Waterdeep campaign started coming around. My son was old enough for me to be able to spend long times, but when I got divorced, it became more of an online play, and I play with some friends, and I'm actually scheduling a month of TTRPG Dragoncast episodes. So that's coming up, and there are people that branched out with OSR, Old School Revival, from I believe from the 2E days. And then you have people trying to make their own games, like for example, Erudai from the former Geeks and Gamers Tabletop, creating Legend Seeker, which I'm hoping to interview him about. And there's some just go through the manuals, and they go with the spirit of D&D, that we take the rules as guidelines and we make our own rules at the table, so called house rules. And there are many examples of that. But what about you, player? Do you play D&D, or do you play a different game? Might I also offer another idea, which is Castle and Crusades. It was one of Gary Gygax's last works that he worked with on, and I hear it's pretty good. I haven't had a chance to play it, but it is run by a veteran-owned business, and yeah, people are saying that they get rid of the DIE and just focus on making a great game. So there you have it, and let me hear your thoughts and comments below. As always, happy gaming.
Worlds clash in endless collision. Gaming news with a fierce precision. With a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest eye, a cyberstorm. Reclaim gaming in Dragoncast. Fire breathing wide, screaming loud. The Vistro's here to shake the crowd.